Namaskaram, Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be looking down because I got my notes here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about shopping for religion or shopping for ideology or philosophy as you would shop for shoes. So I was inspired to make this video because I've lived in America most of my life. Not all my life, but most of my life, and living in a free market economy, capitalist system. You know, everybody loves to get the best deal and they have their favorite brands, and it's always encouraged to shop around, get the best price, try things out. Is there a return policy? Can you return the item that you bought, right? But when it comes to religion or philosophy, everybody has this idea that you're just stuck with what you're born into, right? Like if you were born into a Christian family, then it's probably expected that you're gonna be raised as a Christian, and you'll probably just stay a Christian as you grow older. If you're born into a Muslim family, or if you're born into a Buddhist family, typically people just stick with what their families gave them, or what religion or philosophy their families followed. And I was like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but there's a lot of people that end up staying in a religion or a philosophy that doesn't work for them and doesn't get them anywhere. And I was like, in America, people shop for everything, food and clothes and cars and houses and political ideologies, all these things. But when it comes to religion, it's this this sacred thing that we can't touch, and it's just, you pick one and you stick with it and you stay with it, that's it. And I was like, for me, that seems a little silly, because I was raised in kind of a culty Christian environment, and I was starting to go away from that when I was in middle school, and by adopting other philosophies or ideologies at different times or in different situations, that really helped me. So, like Taoism, certain Taoist principles really helped me, certain Buddhist principles, and eventually I was led to Hinduism, which I was like, this is my perfect fit. So if you think about if you're going to shop for shoes, you'll have a couple things in mind, right? One is the occasion or the environment, right? So if you're going to go on a camping trip, you're going to make sure that you're going to get some good hiking boots, right? Or some good outdoor shoes. If you are going to a black tie event, you're going to want some dress shoes or a nice pair of stilettos, right? If you're going fishing, or if you're going to the swamp or something, you're going to want waterproof boots, right? So you're going to have this in mind when you're going to the store. You know that you're going somewhere. You're going to need a specific shoe for a specific kind of situation. So once you get to the shoe store and you find the shoe that you want, there's going to be all the different sizes, and you have to try out different brands, try out different makes of the shoe, because if you get a shoe that is too small, then you're going to have to shove your feet in there, and you're going to be in a ton of pain, and your feet are going to be all crumpled up, and then you're not going to be able to walk anywhere, right? Because your feet are going to be in all this pain, all crumpled up. And that's completely defeating the purpose of the shoe, which is to protect your feet and help you to be able to move in a certain environment, right? Similarly, if you get a shoe that's too big, you're just going to be tripping all over yourself because the shoe's too big, right? You're going to be falling out of the shoe or tripping over the shoes. And then similarly, again, you're not going to end up fulfilling the purpose of the shoe, which is to actually help you make progress, to move, to get somewhere, and to protect your feet along the way, right? So, I wish people would look at religion and ideology and philosophies in the same way, that they would just see religion as a shoe to be able to help us as spiritual beings make progress in evolution in this life here on this planet, right? And I think that we should try out different shoes or use different shoes for different situations, just like the same way with religion. So let me use an example. So again, I was kind of saying, if you're going to the swamps or something, you're not going to want a nice pair of tennis shoes or sandals. You're going to want what are they called? High waters, the big rubber shoes and pants that go all the way up here, or like some waterproof boots or something to protect your feet. And that will actually help you in the environment that you're going to. If you were to go to the swamp in sandals or something, you're going to get swamp foot, you're going to get ulcers and insect bites and all sort of stuff. It's going to be terrible. And I was thinking, when we're in different parts of going through different chapters in our life, sometimes different philosophies and archetypes and dimensions can be very helpful for us. And for example, a couple of years ago, I was homeless and I was going through some very dark times. Homeless, poor, sex worker, and like going through a gender transition and like all of these different things. And I also had a lot of health problems going on. So you could say I was going through a very hellish condition, right? And during those times, what really helped me get through the dark times when I was trudging through those hellish environments was adopting archetypes, ideologies, and religions that kind of specify in that. So I don't know if you've heard of like Kali, the Dark Mother, or if you've heard of like Santa Muerte, Holy Death in Mexico. A lot of people are afraid of her, but when I was going through those really hellish times, it's like, well, what better guide to have than like Mictacasihuatl, who is like she's the archetype of the underworld, the queen of the underworld. So it's like, well, when you're going through really hellish times, having a guide like that, or taking certain ideological principles or philosophical principles and applying those to your life can be really, really helpful. And I can certainly say that I would not have gotten through those dark times as gracefully and successfully as I did and as quickly as I did had it not been for the help of like Mother Kali or Santa Muerte, right? They really helped me through that. So I would really encourage people to research all the different religions and all the different philosophies and ideologies, as many as they can, because sometimes Christianity doesn't work in a certain situation, and maybe you need some Taoist principles, or maybe your Buddhist principles aren't working out right now and you need more of like a Santeria approach, So once you start researching into different religions and ideologies, parables and stories, you begin to see that like it doesn't really matter if you identify as the religion or with the religion. There are helpful tools that you can take from all over to Sammy showing me her butt. All sort of tools that you can take and grab to make use of to help you progress in life. Let me take a look at my notes here. I think that was basically it. Last thing. Another thing that I was thinking of, when you go shopping for shoes, would you go to a shoe store that only promoted one kind of shoe and they only had one size? There was no return policy. Would you buy that shoe? I don't think so. So look into religions like that too. Like there are some philosophies, some political ideologies, some religions that there's no return policy. Once you're in, you're in. It's like the mafia. The only way out is boom, So make sure there's a return policy, and also what do you have to give? So for some religions, are you going to have to amputate part of yourself? Are you going to have to sacrifice certain ideas or beliefs? Will you have to shun certain family members or friends if they disagree with you? Or is it, it's a more free, open sort of situation? So I would suggest that, again, that everybody do some research into different parables and stories and myths and religions and ideologies, because all of them have something that we can learn from, and tools and instruments that we can use for our spiritual evolution. Okay? I think that's all. We're almost at 10 minutes. I didn't want to make this too long, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now, and I'll see you guys later. Jai Shri Radhe.